Do you ever wonder why elk aren't where they're supposed to be? Everything looks perfect, but the elk, they're not there. This is part 2 of my live on location Thrive Vodcast with Cody Rich from the Rich Outdoors podcast. Everyone has an opinion, and you've heard them all. Go high, go deep, go remote. While those are generally solid suggestions, they only work with the right features and, more importantly, the right conditions. In this Thrive episode, Cody and I continue our live on location conversation about high country pursuits and how to break down and understand moisture data in your hunt areas. This might be the elk locator you've been missing. This episode is directly from the elk finding trenches. Let's get to it.
Last year, I saw this thing about killing elk over 10,000 feet. And I was like, oh, I've never done that. And I kind of like now, like it's like one of those things you want to stack in the resume. How do you e-scout for an elk over 10,000?
All right, dude, I'm so glad you asked me that. Have you been looking at my toolkits lately? So this is a shameless promotion. I just added a new
teed it up for you.
I just added a new layer to my toolkits you're going to love. So finally, I've been looking for this forever, but I want the moisture levels in zones, not by weather station, right? I want the basin levels. So I found an access to the USDA moisture level analysis. And so what I put it in my toolkit. So now, before you go on your hunt, you can look up your area and see what percentage of moisture it's at. So I hunted Colorado for 19 years. This is a big deal in Colorado, above 10,000. Running to the top to kill a bull is a winner until it's not a winner. And let me give you the scenario. If you look at that moisture chart and it says 54% of normal, them elk are not going to be at 12,000 feet because the first grass to dry up is at 12,000 feet. I've made so many mistakes early in my career. Everybody said, go high in Colorado, go high, which I agree. I don't know the research. I'm just saying my own personal, I have to see above 75% moisture. If I see 80 plus, I'm like, okay, I'm going high. But that spot I told you in Idaho proved it to me. So I go up there, it's bone-ass dry. But I went 3,000 feet with my llamas. All the way there was like lush. 8,000 feet looked like the Mecca. But I'm up at 10, and I'm seeing a few bulls. Not what I thought I would see. So sure enough, I dropped down 2,000 feet, and I'm in bulls every day. They have been there. There was sign everywhere.
Do you think they go back up for rifle, though?
Once the green's up again, once the new rains come, once the monsoons come in September, I think they go back. And once everything dries, where everything is equal, then I think they go high too, because I believe that elk want to be high for a lot of reasons. Bugs, pressure. There's different reasons they want to be there besides food. But during the rut, during most archery seasons, the cows are driving the show. So if it's real dry and the moisture is turned into popcorn up there and everything's brown, the cows will drop and the bulls will drop. So I inserted this moisture link so that you can look at precipitation and moisture, so you can see what the soil moisture level is in your region or in your area. And then you can also look at precipitation. I think it's a winner. Now, the verdict's still out on it. I just added it like literally less than 2 weeks ago. I can't believe you asked the question. So that's my theory on it is I say go high if the moisture's high.
The moisture's high.
But if we're a low year, guys, the further you come down the mountain, the better the forage is going to be.
Right.
In a low moisture year. But in a high moisture year, with all things being equal, I think the elk want to be high. If you had 100% moisture, they want to be up
high.
there.
Yeah. And I think most Western states, that's true. Like I would say, and I mean, probably even places in Oregon, I think like Eagle Cap Wilderness, like a lot of bulls are really high.
Well, I think there's other reasons. So I think that
I think it's bugs.
When predation is high, meaning wolves, bears, and people, guys, there's no difference. Now, people, I'm just telling you, I'm learning that the elk would rather deal with the people than the wolves. We're seeing elk. I just saw a thing on Instagram. It was Montana Wild just posted it on this elk that calved up where the mountain goats were. This elk had dropped a calf, this just recently, and she's running the mountain goats off to protect her calf. We're seeing more and more of that because I think the wolves and the bears.
Why don't they like going high?
Well, I don't know, but we see it during bear season. We see elk, Cody, and I'm like, how the hell did they get there?
Yeah.
I never seen that 10 years ago.
Yeah.
And I think that's the other reason, these big bulls, if they live 10 years, that's why the gnarly, the nasty, that's another reason. It's not the only reason, guys. Remember, when it comes to elk hunting, guys, I subscribe as there's no magic bullet.
No.
You have to stack all these things up, right? They're all factors. And I think one of the factors is when the predation gets high, the elk go steeper. So in my course, I talk about the steepness range that elk prefer. Well, that is the preferred range when everything is good. But if you've got a lot of wolves, a lot of bears, guys, just start hunting steeper. Don't shy away from that 30%, even though it's not fun. But this cow was literally in the cliffs with a calf. And I'm like,
crazy.
what's the odds that calf's going to fall off the cliff?
I mean, I've seen a lot of elk with goats. I've killed a lot of bulls around mountain goats. Like,
Guys, and a lot of people will look at that and say it's too steep. I have people tell me that bear hunting, like, oh, Mark, it was too steep. I was like,
I've never seen.
I
such
don't
a
think
thing.
there's anything too steep for bears.
Yeah,
Unless
I see
it's
them
just
things
vertical.
yeah. Even then, I see them climbing around the road.
Yeah. So anyway, that's some good nuggets right there. So moisture levels, I think, determine. So when you're planning your hunts, guys, this is mission critical, in my opinion.
Oh yeah, I know where you're going.
You plan high hunt areas. Always, let's say you have 3 hunt areas, Cody. You're going and you've planned you're going to do 7 or 10 days, and you have 3 areas that you're going to potentially be in. Make sure one of them is at a radical elevation change from the other ones.
100%.
Don't do all 3 at 12,000 feet.
100%.
Do you agree with that?
100%. And I would even think about it, like even as I think about Montana, as I e-scout some stuff, I'm like, oh, this would be good early. This would be good late. This would be good. Where do I think they're going to be? All those things, like your plans, you should have plans throughout the season. And, Montana, you take like a 6-week season, or 5-week season.
Yeah.
So it's like, you got to have, it could be changed. But I've been there where it's like, oh, here's our plan. And then snow level, you're like, that just ruined all of our plans. So like, we got to have something that's lower.
Well, especially if you rifle guys that are paying attention, man, you better have the places you thought you could drive to.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, that ain't happening.
Yeah. Rifle's really important.
Rifle's sketchy for planning, and you got to have options. And that's where using historical snow analysis and all that stuff that we talk about, a lot of guys just don't do it. It takes a little time because here's the deal. You only got 10 days, 14 days on out, guys. That's all you got. Or whatever your time frame is. Let's say you got 20 days. Whatever, it doesn't matter what you got. That's all you've got. Why would you want to leave any stone unturned? Why would you not want to go in as prepared as you possibly can? Why would you not want to run view shed on every one of your glassing spots just to kind of make sure it all looks good? Why would you not want to drag the trail with Onyx to make sure, like you said in Wyoming, like what can you see from there? Guys, this is all knowledge that when you get out there, it's going to pay dividends. I said this on my last episode. I'm going to say it till I'm blue in the face, but as an elk hunter, there are so many things that we cannot control, right? So many. The elk, the weather, everything. Like you said, you think it looks amazing, but there's no elk.
Yeah.
We have to control the things that we can control.
Control the controllables.
So we're better able to handle the things that we can't control. Does that make sense?
100%.
And
I say it all the time. Control the controllables.
We talk a lot about entrepreneurship, and I think about the guys that win in entrepreneurship are the same mindset.
Oh, yeah.
They control all the variables they can so that they're ready to deal with the ones they can't.
And then the biggest thing is don't let the ones you can't control you.
Yeah.
Because like so many times, I think this is actually the biggest hurdle in elk hunting, which is guys will go, shit starts going wrong. And it's just like, it falls apart. It's just like, oh, my plans. And like, there's no elk in it. Yeah. And it's just like, it's just one thing after another. And I love the trip I did to Arizona a couple years ago, 21 or 22. It was like thing after thing after thing. It was like getting comical at a certain point. I was like, man, this is a good one. Like, this is really bad. And it's just like, everything's going wrong. But I'm just going to stick it like, okay, stick to the plan, stay focused, and don't let it eat you up. And I think that comes with experience. It comes with like getting kicked in the teeth a lot, right? Yeah. Like you're going to get kicked in the teeth on an elk hunt. If you have, a progressive plan or any kind of hunt strategy laid out, it's like, it's so much easier to fall back into.
Dude, your odds of going home are so reduced.
Yeah.
How many times have you been in your tent, Cody, and you're like, when you don't have any idea what you're going to do the next day, you're like, you're on your phone. You're like, oh, shit.
I've been through A to Z. And
well, you are still in the game because you have experience. But a guy his first year from Missouri, he's like, I'm going home.
Yeah.
I'm done.
This just isn't what I thought it was.
Yeah.
Or this is not working out. It's too hot.
Flip the page and you're like, you got this whole other hunt here, and you start looking through it and you're like, wow, you know what? I forgot about that. Well, all of a sudden your mind went from I got nothing to I got a chance.
The other thing I really like about having, I'll call it the other side of the mountain plan. When you have an other side of the mountain plan, it's like, it's a little bit of, I don't know, faith, if you will. Like, you're like, let's pull plug and go to like way south, a whole unit, right? Like, you're like, that unit's going to be good. Whereas if you keep all your plans on one part of the mountain and you're like, you're going to get your teeth kicked in and you're going to want to give up. But if you're like, let's go check out that other spot, sometimes that is a good motivator.
Well, and your level of confidence, if you've already east scouted, you've already looked at it, and you've already feel comfortable, you know how long it's going to take you to drive over there. You know where you're going to camp. You know how far the hike is. You know all those variables. Guys, your mind is like ready to go. Yeah. But when you're like, well, let's go to town and download some new maps for a new area we've never been before. Now, somebody that of your ability, that you can do it. And I think that's a lot of guys watch guys like you. And they get, well, I don't think Cody probably puts 100 pins down. Well, he probably doesn't, guys, because he doesn't need to. Yeah, the reality is he's got the experience that you don't have. And people way underestimate. So I say this all the time, and I know people don't pay attention to this, but you have no way to keep up with someone that gets 100 days of experience a year, and you've got 10. And even I just had Corey Jacobs on. He goes, Mark, it's not even that. I'm like, why? He goes, well, when you think about it, if you hunt 30 days of September, you went through all the cycles. The level of experience that you got in those 30 is way greater than the 10. And I'm like, oh, you're right.
It's so much compounding. You're just learning every day.
So for every 10 years that you hunt, you get that much experience every year.
Oh, yeah. So
the only way, not the only, but one way to overcome that, you're educate yourself.
It is. And I think like e-scouting gets a bad rap, and a lot of guys want to put boots on the ground. Honestly, my superpower is that I can e-scout, and a lot of that just comes from new units, going to places. Going through having to learn a unit is like a superpower. And I honestly believe that. I honestly think e-scouting is probably one of the most important things I ever did or could do. I have all the confidence in the world that going to Wyoming and a place I've never been to before, like
well, you're like me. You're a lot like me. You're a new spot guy.
Yeah,
you go to some of the same haunts, but for the most part, dude, there's nothing that floats my boat more than brand new spot. Yeah. And a lot of guys are, so it's funny, I'm going to say one more thing about that, because when I created my course, I thought that my customer was going to be beginners. I just thought that's what it would be. It's not. Way not. What turned into is all these guys that have hunted the same places their grandfather hunted. Right. Their dad, it's elk camp. They always go, right? Well, there's no elk. The elk have dried. Something's changed, right? And I get message after message. Cody's like, hey, Mark, I've been hunting elk for 15 years, but we've been going to the same elk camp, right? It's been great, but it's just not any good anymore. But I don't even know how to develop a new spot.
That's crazy.
And I'm like, if I had to go to the same spot to hunt elk every year, I'd cut my throat. I mean, I can't even imagine. Now, guys, don't get me wrong. There's a lot of benefit of knowing an area, right? There's a lot.
Yeah.
But that's not my style. I'm a gypsy.
I'm a gypsy too, but I also think the superpower is being able to figure it out.
Yeah.
And you'll learn more about elk and honestly just overall knowledge of being a better elk hunter. You want to be a great elk hunter? You got to learn how to go to new areas. That's all there is to it.
Oh, there ain't no doubt.
My thing is like, do you want to kill elk every year, or do you want to be 60 years old and be a really great elk hunter? That's, to me, is like, it's a skill. There's sub skills within the skill. Elk hunting is a skill. Sure. E-scouting is a sub skill. Shooting your bow is a sub skill. Standard woodsmanship, right? Like those are all sub skills. And like, you have to learn all of those things.
Yeah. Like we just said to Corey, guys, train your weaknesses.
Yeah.
Quit focusing on your strengths. All you guys that like say to me all the time, I'm not that good with computers. Guys, you got to buckle down. It's not rocket science. Yeah. OnX has made it pretty freaking easy. Yeah. And even Google, even my tool, all these things are not, guys, this ain't programming.
Yeah.
Don't be afraid.
You just play with it long enough. You get
in there. Mm. If you're a great shot with your bow, maybe 2 days a week, instead of shooting your freaking bow, you take some YouTube videos on how to use your freaking computer. And I know that sounds simplistic, but it opened my eyes. I started doing these live PEAX elk camps. These guys would show up with laptops in the box. Their wife bought them before the camp.
No way.
They don't even have passwords set up. They don't even have anything. And I'm like, he goes, well, I've never really used a computer much. And but it's time to, I'm like, well, now's not the time. Good idea.
You were even telling me that like you met somebody who was e-scouting on a phone, and it never even dawned on me that people try to e-scout on a phone.
I know.
I'm like, that's
Dude,
not.
or even
that's-
an iPad, guys. Even an iPad's hard.
No.
Unless now I know guys like Lampers that uses his iPad all the time, but the dude knows what he's looking at. I'm telling you, if you guys want to do it, you get 2 monitors. Don't
No.
spend a ton.
You get the TV, the full TV.
You like the big, right? So I don't like the
I
big.
don't actually like big. I can do it on my laptop now. 2 monitors is good.
I like side-by-side
honest-
comparison.
Yeah.
I like looking side by side. To be honest with you, I like OnX on one screen. I like Google Earth
Google
on
Earth
the
on
other.
the
I like swapping image dates.
Yeah.
I like looking at different things. That's the winner for me.
I
And
do like throwing it on the TV because it's like
Now,
big.
I do too if I'm looking overview. See, what you love to do is you like to just kind of zoom around and
yeah, I
just
fly around.
feel it, right?
Yeah.
But see, think about that, Cody. I'm not dissing your abilities, but you are able to do that and absorb the whole area. You're like, oh, well, that makes sense. That makes sense. But if guys that don't know what they're really breaking down, that's impossible.
Okay, I got a question for you. How long till AI can do what I do?
Dude, I don't know. We talked about this.
All I'm great at is pattern recognition. I mean, AI is going to be able to do it within a couple of years. And Jade and I had this conversation because I'm like, there's nothing that special about what I do. Like, I've done it a lot, right? And it's recognition. There's pile of variables that I'm looking
I
at.
know,
and
that's
it's
what I'm
pattern
saying.
recognition.
It's going to be a little...
No, I think
Unless
AI
somebody
is
trains
just-
it. Somebody's
yeah,
got to
somebody's
train it,
training it.
right? Don't start that
I'm
shit.
not.
You'll be putting me out of
I'm
business.
not doing it. Jaden might be doing it, but I'm not going to.
You can put me out of business, dude. What are you talking about? I mean,
Well, I was just thinking, like, wonder if like AI could watch me. I actually really want to do this. If anybody wants to comment, I would love to see if anyone's interested. You know how are you familiar with Twitch?
yeah.
Okay, so Twitch is live streaming gaming. All of us are like, why is that a thing? Why do people watch people play video games? I don't really understand it either, but I was talking to someone, I was like, I think it'd be cool to just watch you and I live stream like
We've talked about this
times a
before.
day. It would be really long. It would be like 6-8 hours
Yeah.
of just like playing on it. It would be really interesting, but if you fed that with audio of just like me wearing this headset and being like, oh, this is what I like, this is what I don't like, whatever. I wonder if AI could be like,
Well, dude, so I just built, thanks to Kime, he showed me how to build my own chat about a month ago.
Yeah.
So
Your
I
own
built
bot?
my own chat module for this show, and I loaded in all my scripts, and now this dang thing is writing it like I wrote it.
Yeah.
Like when I put
My-
in text,
yeah.
it's getting so freakishly close to what I would normally say.
mine, even Kelsey will tell me, mine can write me better than me.
Yeah.
Like, it's like, you can't tell the
So
difference.
then I just went to a new one. And
Do they have video now? I could literally take
dude,
your
I
video.
know. I get this voice problem, right?
You
And
could just take that away.
I just went into and I had my voice cloned on this platform.
Yeah.
And I read some script. I had Amy, I read both, and I said, tell me which one. She couldn't even tell. The way they're getting with the voice inflection and the emotion, and it's freaky.
Does it ruin hunting?
I don't know. Everybody said OnX was going to ruin hunting.
That's true.
Dude,
It's
here's
a
the reality.
pendulum in our
Think
swings.
about it. OnX when the chip came out. And that was nothing. That was just some topo maps.
Yeah.
Everybody said, oh, the elk got nowhere to hide. They're all going to be dead, right? Well, I'm doing a show coming up. I'm doing the research on it right now. But my preliminary research, Cody, says that we are killing less percentage today than we did
Oh, interesting.
before OnX.
Yeah, but
You
Onyx
can't
created,
get to.
dude, there's always a pendulum. Everyone, and this is kind of my thing, is like, you think it's the end, but it creates a new thing, right? Everything that happens creates a new thing.
the
There's
elk
causation,
adapt.
right? Elk adapt. Like, when wolves came out, all the elk are going to be dead in 5 years, right? Like, I remember the whole wolf thing. It was like, it changed the behavior.
Now, they took a hit,
It
but,
took a hit, but elk adapted.
but they changed it. They're living in the cliffs. They're doing all the things, right?
Or the flats,
Yeah.
in people's yards. And so, like,
and beetle kills.
And the same with Onyx. Onyx came out and was like, oh, all my public spots are toasted. But then it was too easy to look at Onyx and no one was asking for permission. So like I remember knocking doors and guys were like, oh man, people used to always ask, but no one's asked me in 5 years. Like, absolutely. And you're like,
Really?
oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Well,
So I think it creates, the pendulum swings back and forth. So I'm constantly thinking of like, if this is true, then what is it? What is the causation? What's the secondary effect? So if everyone can eat AI eScout, what's the secondary effect? It probably spreads elk out.
Well, how many people are going to really use it?
No, I mean, they can't even use Onyx.
Right.
or
Nobody
Google.
can use my toolkits. Are you kidding me? Like, you click a button, dude. Turn on the public land, click, whatever. But here's the thing. Think about Colorado's a great example. So I've been doing a lot of studying in Colorado because I've really been fascinated by this point thing. The situation they're in is
Yeah.
it's pretty catastrophic, to be honest.
Did you talk to Cliff about this?
Dude, no, not yet.
He's got some really good ideas.
Oh, I'd love.
You should have him.
But when I looked at the numbers, it was shocking. So I did AI. I used AI for it because, so what Colorado does, they don't want to tell people how many people have points. So they publish their post-draw report in a PDF. Well, I just loaded that thing in AI and said, I need this. And and then I sent it to Brady Miller. I couldn't believe the numbers. I sent it to Brady. I said, Brady, do you think this is accurate? Then I sent it to my buddy, Austin with Graxall, right?
Yeah.
Oh, he's a number freak, right?
Oh, really?
So he got it. He ran the numbers. So anyway, what I'm saying is, think of Colorado. So they had over-the-counter unlimited tags, tens of thousands of elk hunters. And the population of elk in that state continue to grow, now up over 300,000.
Right.
They can't even slow the elk down. So the elk find a way. It's like Jurassic Park.
Yeah.
the evolution, it finds a way.
Yeah.
And so...
It's because elk are the superior species.
Well, dude, there's something to it. Now, do I think that the more puts more pressure on the older A class in DIY? I do agree. It's harder for a bull to get to 400 inches, maybe, with pressure and all the tools and everything that we got nowadays. Maybe that's the case, because in the glory days, I don't know, maybe that's another study for another show. I need to look at Boone and Crockett records compared to when Onyx. I need to look at that. That's a good one.
Yeah, that's a good one.
That's a
really good one.
That's a great AI project too. I can dump it all in there. Ooh,
dude,
that was
AI
worth
is fascinating. The other day I ran AI on raffle tags to figure out what the
you have been on this for years.
Dude, my AI is freaking genius. But we were I call her Helda, and so Helda and I were goddess of war.
Do you keep saying things like thank you and stuff to it?
Oh, for sure, because I don't want to So Kelsey's my wife. My wife, we had to get new washer and dryer last week. And she's like, have to run through this. She didn't want to do it. And I was like, just ask Helda. I use voice to text. So the real trick is you use Descript to transcribe. So the old way to Google things was elk in unit, it's such a Google term, right? But now I can say, hey, I'm thinking about hunting this unit. Here's all the variables here. And I could talk for an hour. And it doesn't change the pace in which it feeds back. It just has more context. Get the answer, right? And so I told Kelsey, I was like, oh, can you tell her which one you selected, because that is important data down the road. It doesn't understand. So say I say, hey, can you give me 10 titles for the podcast? If I tell her which one I used, I'm training it on that.
Ooh, see, I'm not doing that. I need to do that.
You have to fill it in.
I always learn a couple things every time I say, and my 19-minute podcast now is whatever we are. I hope it's still running.
38.
We're good.
So anyway, the raffle tags thing was interesting because I was trying to figure out what's the maximal point, the maximum dollars you would spend to have. So in Idaho, years and years and years ago, you could always buy kind of 51%. You could buy your odds. And so I was trying to understand, I was taking all the raffles and trying to figure out where the odds were and how much it would cost to say, get 20% and this for, governor's tag.
To buy 20% of the raffle tags.
Right. To have a 20% odds or a 10% odds.
Yeah.
And then statistically, if you wanted to spend, and going through okay, if I budgeted $5,000 a year going to raffle tags, what would be the best odds? What would be the most probability? Because it's not like you can, unless you have unlimited budget, you're not going to buy a 51%. You could still not draw, right? And so it was working backwards. And I forget all the answers, but it was very different than what I had anticipated.
Is it more?
No, it was actually less.
Less money?
To spend less money,
okay.
But your odds over years. So it's success would be drawing a governor's tag or a state tag every 5 to 7 years or whatever. So it was actually creating this budget that you would, anyway, way down the rabbit hole we went.
Oh, man. You've been talking about that for the last 2 years we've been talking. Guys, thanks for joining us. That was a long one, but it's okay. I hope you enjoyed that one. And guys, like always, this show, I really want to answer your questions in future shows. So make sure you leave a comment. Tell me how great or how bad Cody is. Make sure you leave good about me, though.
Yeah.
And don't make fun of my voice like all of you have been starting to do.
Keep making fun of his voice.
Yeah, and thanks for joining us. PEAX Equipment is in giveaway mode again. The Project Innovate giveaway is still rolling, and they've upped the ante from July 17th to August 15th. Every $50 you spend at PEAX gets you automatically entered to win the new Project Innovate Cyber Beast truck and a new Prime custom bow build. This is a winning combination. I need to ask them if I'm excluded from this one. Check out Project Innovate Episode 3 with Corey Jacobson on weapons. I've included a link to that video in the text description below. Remember, you only have 30 days to get in on this expanded giveaway starting July 17th. Head on over to PEAXequipment.com. Elk hunting isn't about magic spots or the hottest hunting application. It comes down to stacking features and using micro strategies. Cody nailed it best when he said there is no magic bullet. You have to stack all these things up. From soil moisture analysis to knowing when to abandon a dry high country zone, this episode was packed with backcountry tactics gold. Whether you're a weekend warrior or a full season grinder, your odds go up when you plan like a pro and you prepare for the pivot. The right pivot could be the game winner. Stack up the elk finding features, evaluate the current conditions, and control what you can. Don't forget, train your weaknesses. I'll see you next time.